Buddhist monastic life. The Theravada attitude to money. The custom adopted by the monks in Vesli greatly upset the Venerable Vyasa, who was the Theravada spokesman. In his opinion, these monks were doing wrong, and he publicly objected to it. At first, he addressed the lay followers in Vesli, "Friends, do not give kaphana, half kaphana, pida, or msaka to the community. Money is not permitted to monks, sons of the Eskians. They do not consent to accept money, nor to ask for it. The monks, sons of the Eskians, have renounced their jewelry, gold, and precious stones, and they have no money." Despite the Venerable Vyasa's advice, lay followers from Vesli continued to give money to the monks. Were probably unwilling to give up their custom at the command of a monk who was a stranger to them. Moreover, the monks from Vesli did not stop at asking and accepting money. They would distribute what money they had obtained among all the members of the local community. They allotted shares out of the money received on the day of the full moon, and gave a share to Vyasa, who immediately refused it in the following words: "No, venerable ones, I do not need money. I must not to accept money." The monks from Vesli were angry at this, and ordered Vyasa, as a punishment, to ask lay followers publicly for forgiveness. These monks, it seems, were confident that it was correct to accept money. Vyasa obeyed their command, but instead of asking for forgiveness, he defended his position by referring to the Buddha's words. According to Vyasa, the Buddha had clearly specified his opinion about money in 3 places: first, before a gathering of monks; second, to a village chief called Maniklaka; and finally on the occasion of Upananda's accepting money, instead of food, is in the right. One day the Buddha, preaching to monks, compared the 4 obstacles to the religious life to 4 ways for sunlight and moonlight to be obscured. Sunlight and moonlight, he said, were threatened by clouds, by fog, by thick black smoke, and by eclipses. Similarly, the religious life was the Theravada attitude to money threatened by 4 obstacles: alcohol, sexual relationships, money, and improper livelihood. A single one of these 4 obstacles was enough to obscure and destroy the religious life. Vinta 296, II 53. There had been a controversy between some lay followers from the town of Aryagaha and a village chief called Maniklaka. Everyone apart from Maniklaka believed that monks had the right to accept gold and money. The dispute was left unsolved. Maniklaka then visited the Buddha, who confirmed that he was in the right. "Of course, Maniklaka, your opinion is absolutely correct. Money is not permitted to monks, sons of the Eskians. They are not allowed to accept it nor to keep it. They are men who have given up jewels, gold, and precious stones. They do not possess money. If money were permitted, then the pleasures of the 5 senses would equally be permitted. Whoever is allowed the pleasures of the 5 senses does not, as you well know, lead an ascetic life, nor the life of the sons of the Eskians." Vinta 297. Finally, there was the incident involving Upananda, which led the Buddha to establish Nisugya Pichitiya, Rule 18, discussed above. Vyasa succeeded in convincing the lay followers, but the monks from Vesli unyieldingly stood their ground. They produced explanations as to why it was right and legitimate to accept money. This controversy brought about the Second Buddhist Council. According to the account of this council in the Pali Vinaya, despite strong opposition from the monks from Vesli, the senior monks condemned their custom. In the opinion of the latter, accepting and using money was an absolute contradiction to the doctrine and the discipline preached by the master. Leaving aside the various interpretations by different Buddhist schools, one thing is certain: Theravadins were concerned with this issue. Although rules concerning money were relatively few in number, the strictness of the Theravada interpretation is shown by the fact that the Pali Vinaya preserves a detailed account of the council at Vesli, along with their interpretation of it. The 4 rules dealing with this matter are clear. Not only is trade forbidden, but also the use of money to purchase clothes, food, and other things. In the Theravada view, monks and nuns did not have the right to buy anything. They were to rely entirely on lay people for the material aspect of their lives. As long as there were lay followers, monks and nuns did not need money. Money symbolizes the whole range of material values. If someone accepts or possesses money, his or her renunciation is not complete. His or her life is not yet detached from the world. This is the reason why the Vinaya prohibited money, gold and silver, even in cases which had nothing to do with commerce. For example, monks and nuns were not allowed to own or use utensils made of gold to prepare medicines. Vin. 1-103. Of course, the begging bowl could not be made of gold. Vin. 112-114. These 4 rules were laid down to counter any temptation in monks and nuns to fall into habits incompatible with renunciation, and to encourage them always to lead a simple life in a position of dependency on lay followers.